I'm Jonny Reps here in my gym in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and today I'm going to be measuring the weights of different pieces of equipment at my gym using this luggage scale. I'm going to test to see if they are actually the same amount of weight as they are listed on the machine. I'm going to test to see if different plates of the same marked weight weigh the same. I'm going to measure if the resistance at different points on machines is equal. I'm going to measure some band resistance. So if you've ever been curious about if the weights at your gym actually weigh what they say they weigh, or if you have a weird machine that you're like, this one feels heavier than it seems like it should be, or lighter than it seems like it should be, you might find this video a little interesting. Like and comment and share if you want to hear more about my gym and see more gym videos in the future. So since we're here anyway, the first thing we're going to start with is doing some weight plates. Let's turn on the scale, we'll zero it out, and we're going to weigh a 10-pound plate. Oh, so right there, 9.72 pounds on this 10-pound plate. So let's weigh the other ones and see if they are close. This one's 9.62, this one's 9.54, and this one's 9.84. So not too bad, probably about a 0.3 pound difference in either direction. That's about plus or minus 1.5% roughly if we're talking on a 10-pound plate. So not too bad, but as you can see, all the weights do not weigh exactly the same. We're going to move on to the 25-pound plates. So I have 25-pound bumpers over there and 25-pound rubber plates over here. So first we're going to measure the rubber plates to see if these two are the same. Then we're going to measure the bumpers to see if they are more or less same, whatever. 25.12. That is pretty dang close for these 25-pound plates. 25.40, also very close. I'm actually surprised at how the 25-pound plates actually have a smaller percentage variation, but let's look at the bumpers to see what they are. So I don't even know how I'm going to weigh this. How am I going to use the luggage scale to weigh these? Oh, I think I got it. So I think what I'm going to do to weigh these bumpers is I'm going to take this loadable dumbbell and wrap the luggage scale around that along with this clip that I'm going to use to hold the weight in place, and then just subtract the difference of that from the weight of the plate on the dumbbell. So the weight of the dumbbell is 6.24 pounds with the clip. That's interesting because these dumbbells are supposed to be 7 pounds, but they're like really cheap loadable dumbbells. So I'm not surprised that the variance in weight is this high. Let's just measure the other dumbbell with a clip on it just to see what the difference is. 6.12. 6.12. Let's measure the bumpers. Right around 31.5 minus 6.12. What's that? 25.38. 31.22. 31.34. So remember, we got to subtract the weight of the dumbbell and the clip from all of these, but I'll put that on screen. 31.46. And as I'm weighing these, I realized it would be much easier to just weigh these plates on a regular scale, but this is the tool I selected for the job today, so I want all the numbers to be comparable on the same scale. Okay, so now we're going to go on to measuring the functional trainer. I'm going to measure a couple different weight positions on each side, and I'm also going to measure how much resistance is at the top versus the bottom to see if the pulleys are impacting the weight in any way. First thing we're going to start out with is both cables from the bottom position. 4.68 pounds. It says on the pulley stack that this is supposed to be 2.5 pounds. A pretty big difference. These weight stacks, I know, weigh a lot more than what the actual resistance you are getting at the end of the pulley. I have no idea why this functional trainer is built like that. It makes this thing heavy as shit, and you don't get as much resistance out of it. I think on newer functional trainers, they don't do this, but whatever. So let's measure 2.5 pounds on the bottom position of this pulley. 4.72 pounds. Now we're gonna do the top position. 5.12 pounds. So it seems like you're getting more resistance on this side at the top position. 5.64, also more resistance at the top position. Why am I yelling? I have a microphone. So now from the top position, we're just going to test a couple different weights. Let's go up to what it says as 32.5. So 32.5 pounds is actually 36.62 pounds over here. And it's 33.88 over here. So significant difference from side to side. But honestly, that's to be expected for a variety of reasons. One, I'm assuming that the pulley configuration of this machine, being all convoluted and fucked up as you can tell, has an impact on how much weight you're lifting. Two, the pulley configuration on this machine is generated to be convoluted, as I said earlier, because you're actually getting, I think each of these weight stacks weighs, according to the guy I bought it from, they weigh 4 times as much as the weight that they're actually marked as. I do not know why this functional trainer is built like this. It's an old functional trainer. It's stupid. And the third reason why is because as weights get older, especially metal weights like this, that's why those other weights over there, those are very new and they're also rubber or rubber coated, so they don't have this happen. But for these plates, as they oxidize and absorb oxygen from the air and rust a little bit, that actually increases their weight slightly. Okay, so last thing we're gonna do is the weight on this leg press here. I got a low battery indicator on the luggage scale, so let's hope it even works for this. Whenever people are leg pressing, they always ask me, well, how much is the empty sled? And I say, just treat it as 45 pounds because that's what a barbell weighs. So we're gonna see what this sled actually weighs according to the luggage scale. Hopefully this thing will work for this. So it wouldn't really zero out, I guess, because, I don't know, maybe my arms aren't stable enough this early in the morning. It was moving back and forth around about 70 pounds. So this empty leg press sled, you are actually exerting force against 70 pounds. The sled itself certainly weighs more than that. It's being partially supported by the machine, but that's the number that we got. I forgot I was supposed to do band tension in this video. I'm gonna measure tension of I grabbed 4 bands that I had over on the wall over there. This is the best way to measure the resistance of your bands, is actually using a luggage scale. It's really the only accurate way to do it. So we can measure the resistance at the beginning and the end range. Okay, so this band barely stretched. It's somewhere around 7 pounds of resistance. This would probably be about at an overhead position, so we'll measure it here. 26.1 pounds. The red band barely stretched is about 7 pounds as well. Now, interesting thing to note is that I have to stretch this thing further to get it fully stretched, but it also might be because I think this red band is a little older than that black band. 17 pounds. The black band has more resistance than the red band. The red band is thicker than the black band, so I always assumed the red band actually had more resistance, but the black band is newer. Bands do lose a bit of resistance over time. It could also be the rubber they're made out of. Maybe it's slightly different. Black band definitely has more resistance even though it's thinner. Let's measure the gray band. So the gray band just slightly stretched is about 15 pounds. Going all the way up to full lockout is about 30. Purple band is about 18 pounds, just stretched a little bit. And then all the way up there, it's about 37 pounds. There you have it. There's the elastic resistance at different ranges of motion. If you want to get an accurate idea of measuring the bands at your gym, do the same thing. Use a luggage scale. Measure the resistance at both the beginning and end range of motion of whatever exercise you are using the bands for. Well, anyway, that's the video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all the things that all the social media influencers tell you you're supposed to do.